Russia is a country of amazing size, stretching across 11 time zones from the Baltic Sea all the way to the Pacific Ocean. Its huge area holds a mix of cultures, histories, and landscapes. To understand Russia, we need to look at its cities. They are the real heart of the country. Each city is like a living chapter in Russia's story, shaped by what happened in the past and pushing it into the future. Our trip will take us through 5 main cities: Moscow, Saint Petersburg, Kazan, Novosibirsk, and Yekaterinburg. Moscow, the long-standing capital, is Russia's political and spiritual center. Saint Petersburg, the city of kings, connects Russia to Europe. Kazan, where Slavic and Tatar cultures come together, shows a story of different cultures living happily side by side. Novosibirsk and Yekaterinburg, deep in Siberia, show Russia's strong industries and science. These cities show the many different sides of what it means to be Russian. They are more than just places. They are like living museums and places that make things change. By looking at their streets and tall buildings, we'll find the true spirit of Russia. Come with me as we discover the stories inside these amazing cities. Moscow is the beating heart of Russia. It's energetic, powerful, and full of history. Started in 1147, it grew from a small town to become the capital of the Russian Empire, and later, the Soviet Union. Even when the capital moved to Saint Petersburg, Moscow stayed the country's spiritual center. Today it's home to over 13 million people, making it Europe's biggest city. Moscow attracts smart and ambitious people from all over Russia, making it the country's main place for money and politics. The city's skyline mixes old castles with modern skyscrapers, showing how strong it is and how it keeps changing. Lomonosov Moscow State University, started in 1755, stands as a symbol of Russian smarts and achievements. Its graduates include people who won Nobel Prizes and famous thinkers from all over the world. Moscow's story is about staying strong and starting fresh, getting stronger after every hard time. To walk its streets is to see hundreds of years of Russian history. Here, the past and future meet everywhere you look. Moscow is the living example of the Russian spirit. Moscow's famous places are symbols of Russian history and culture. The Kremlin, a fortress inside the city, is where the government is and a symbol of Russia's strength. Red Square, right next to the Kremlin, has seen kings crowned, parades, and big changes. St. Basil's Cathedral, with its bright colorful domes, looks like something out of a fairy tale right in the middle of the city. The Gum department store and the Bolshoi Theater add layers of shopping and culture. The Bolshoi, started in 1776, is a world-famous stage for ballet and opera. Moscow has inspired great people like Leo Tolstoy, whose books shaped Russian writing, and Tchaikovsky, whose music is known worldwide. Yuri Gagarin, the first person in space, trained near Moscow, making the city important in the space race. These famous places and stories make Moscow a city where history is alive and breathing. Everywhere you look tells a story of big dreams, art, and success. Moscow's lasting impact is written in its buildings, music, and the stars. St. Petersburg is special, a city of canals, grand palaces, and European style. Started in 1703 by Peter the Great, it was meant to be Russia's way to connect with the West. For over 200 years, it was the capital where the emperors lived, a center of power and big changes. Today its population has grown back to over 5.5 million, showing it's important again as a place for culture and business. Saint Petersburg State University, started in 1724, has produced Nobel Prize winners and shaped Russian ideas. Built on islands and crisscrossed with canals, the city is often called the Venice of the North. Its old Greek and Roman-style buildings and fancy Baroque buildings make for a grand city view. The white nights of summer fill the city with endless twilight, inspiring many artists and writers over the years. St. Petersburg is a city of ideas, beauty, and lasting inspiration. Here, Russia's European goals and artistic soul shine the brightest. St. Petersburg's famous places show its grand royal past. The State Hermitage Museum, located in the Winter Palace, is full of world art and Russian history. The Peter and Paul Fortress, the city's very first building, holds the tombs of the Tsars and is full of stories of power and secrets. The Church of the Savior on Spilled Blood, with its amazing mosaics and onion domes, stands as a monument to both sad events and beautiful art. The city has helped great people like Alexander Pushkin, who is called the father of Russian literature. and Dmitry Shostakovich, whose music showed the city's strength during wartime. Dmitry Mendeleev, who created the periodic table, also lived in this city. Saint Petersburg is like a living art gallery of art, science, and history. Its streets and monuments show how creative Russia is. Here, the past and present mix together in a beautiful way. Kazan is where Russia's east and west come together. Started over 1,000 years ago, it was once the capital of the Kazan Khanate before joining Russia in 1552. Today, Kazan is a busy city of over 1.3 million people, known for its mix of cultures living well together. It proudly calls itself Russia's third capital, a center of culture, religion, and learning. Kazan Federal University, started in 1804, has helped shape leaders like Leo Tolstoy and Vladimir Lenin. The city's people are a mix of ethnic Russians and Tatars, with Christian churches and Muslim mosques standing side by side. Both Russian and Tatar are official languages, showing its unique identity. Kazan's buildings, food, and traditions are a lively mix of Slavic and Turkic influences. The city is a strong symbol of Russia having many different ethnic groups. Kazan stands as a shining example of different groups living together and being proud of their culture. Kazan's famous places tell a story of having two main backgrounds. The Kazan Kremlin, a UNESCO site, has the blue-domed Kol Sharif Mosque and the Christian Annunciation Cathedral, symbols of different religions living together peacefully. The leaning Soyambika Tower, surrounded by old stories, reminds us of the city's Tatar past. Bauman Street, the lively walking area, connects Kazan's history with its modern energy. Here, local people and visitors mix among old buildings, shops, and cafes. Kazan has inspired people like opera star Fyodor Chalyapin and revolutionary Vladimir Lenin. Tatar poet Gabdullah Tukay, a symbol of cultural rebirth, also lived in Kazan. The city's creative spirit is alive in its music, books, and lively street life. Kazan is a living example of how different cultures can mix and do well. Its story is about being strong, being new, and having a shared identity. In Kazan, the past and present live together in peace. Beyond the Ural Mountains, Siberia's huge area is defined by two powerful cities, Novosibirsk and Yekaterinburg. Novosibirsk, started in 1893 as a railway stop, is now Siberia's biggest city and a center for science and industry. Its population has grown to over 1.6 million, supported by Novosibirsk State University and the innovative Akademgorodok. Famous places like the huge opera and ballet theater and Alexander Nevsky Cathedral show its deep culture. Novosibirsk has produced talented people like violinist Vadim Repin and wrestler Alexander Karelin. Yekaterinburg, sitting between Europe and Asia, was started in 1723 as a place for factories. It's sadly famous as the place where the Romanov royal family was killed, now remembered by the Church on the Blood. The city's population is more than 1.5 million, with Ural Federal University as its main school. Yekaterinburg's monuments mark the line between continents and where Russian history changed direction. It's the birthplace of Boris Yeltsin and filmmaker Alexei Balabanov. Together, these cities show Siberia's pioneering spirit and strong industry. They are places that make progress happen on the edge of Russia's wildlands. Our trip through Moscow, Saint Petersburg, Kazan, Novosibirsk, and Yekaterinburg shows Russia's true variety. Each city offers a special way to look at what it means to be Russian. Tradition, big goals living together, and new ideas. They are like living records of victories, sad times, and big changes. Kazan shows how different cultures can live together well, while Novosibirsk and Yekaterinburg show Siberia's strength and progress. These cities hold Russia's past and push its future. Together, they paint a picture of a country rooted in history and reaching for tomorrow. Russia's story unfolds in their streets, buildings, and culture. To understand Russia, listen to the stories these cities tell. They are the engines of its economy, the places where its culture is shaped, and the homes of its people. These cities are the important pieces of the